Hello comrades, this is General Luigi, and welcome to Let's Play Pokémon Colosseum. So, more grinding, more going through Mount Battle. Really not much to say. Then again, I suppose that's part of what a Let's Player is supposed to do, come up with stuff to yap about when there's nothing interesting going on. Sorry, nose isn't in the best mood. Alright, so looks like we've got a couple of electric Pokemon. That tends to be a pattern with researchers. Alright, we'll use Psybeam on Chinchou. And you know what? We'll also hit him with a Bubble Beam. Psybeam will hit first if that doesn't take him out. The Bubble Beam will probably finish the job unless Chinchou has Water Absorb or something like that. How much you want to bet he will? Alright, so that's one of the main problems here. Octillery is a water Pokemon, therefore she will be weak against electric moves. How much damage will it do? Enough. Alright. So I guess it's a good thing I decide to target Chinchou with that Bubble Beam. And now we take out Pikachu. Simple enough. Another Psybeam Bubble Beam combo should do the trick, assuming Psybeam alone isn't enough. As I said, Espeon's pretty much my artillery. Not exactly incredible on defense, but he hits hard and fast. Thinking about speed isn't always something that you would see with artillery. Ah, well. Point is, he's better on offense than defense. Interesting Craner class names. Interesting I did it again. Interesting trainer class names, huh? And again, I think I've already pointed out the whole glasses man bandana guy business. Alright, so I'm guessing the last one's also a normal Pokemon. Delcatty has pretty good special defense, so let's go ahead and take her out. While we're at it, Octazooka should lower her accuracy, assuming it hits. Love how Delcatty looks when going back to battle. Well, after getting hit. It's just this classic imperial cat kind of appearance. I'm sure anyone who has lived with a cat before knows how that can be. Cats who think they're royalty. Though, to be fair, part of that may be the fact that we treat them as such. Oh well. The Empress of this house has earned her crown. Alright, let's deal with Spinda now. I've always found Spinda to be very annoying to have to face. Never much in terms of offense. Rather, it's the ability to confuse opponents that drives me nuts. In fact, I'm kind of surprised no one's gotten confused yet. That's pretty much Spinda's specialty. Alright, and now all that's left is Vigoroth. So, yeah, we'll use Octazooka, just in case this round isn't enough to finish the job. My memory is Vigoroth has decent defensive stats. My memory is mistaken, apparently. Maybe I'm thinking of its evolved form, Slacking. Ooh! Yeah, Vigoroth is more offense than defense. We will eventually have the dubious honor of facing slacking in battle. But if memory serves, that's still a ways off. Thankfully. I don't think we're ready for a slacking. Blasted nose. So far I'm enjoying it. Then again, part of that might stem from the fact that I have yet to lose here. Okay, so probably another normal Pokémon specialist. You know, if I had caught that Hitmontop, I'd have an effective countermeasure for normal Pokémon. Fighting moves are effective against normal types. Normal types are kind of odd, to be honest. Well, maybe odd isn't quite the right word here. Versatile? I don't know. I've kind of lost any sense of what I was going to say there. But yeah, they definitely... And again, their versatility mostly stems from their variety. Alright. Yes, and... once I've got Octillery up to level... Oops. Yeah, you can actually target attacks against your partner. But I am not going to do that, for what I hope are obvious reasons. Okay. Noctowl is going to be an issue from the looks of it. Don't know why it's attacking Espeon with confusion when there's a perfectly good Pokemon to hit that isn't strong against psychic attacks. Oh well. Don't question a good thing. Maybe she was banking on Espeon getting confused. That's one thing I try to stress a lot, but don't always stay true to. Try not to bank on an attack or a particular strategy achieving the intended result. Well, maybe not the intended result, but the best result. Classic example of this would actually be in Fire Emblem. You shouldn't bank on your characters getting critical hits. I'd say there's more to it than guts. In fact, there's a sixth one you've forgotten, Dan. Strategy. For example, it doesn't matter how much I have in the way of guts, Espeon's Psybeam still isn't going to do any damage against either of those Pokémon. Okay, so let's start with hitting Sableye. Ooh, Fake Out. That's an annoying attack to be on the receiving end of. Does a tiny bit of damage, and it also guarantees... Well, does a tiny bit of damage, hits first, and guarantees that the opponent will flinch. Might have been better off using... Did Sableye's accuracy not fall there? Wait a minute. Maybe it's better that Espeon flinched. I forgot Sableye's other part is Ghost, which will not be affected by Return. So, Reflect. Another Octazooka. So, again, Fake Out is rather annoying to be on the receiving end of. Now, imagine how much damage you could have done against Espeon with that attack. Dan, you are starting to see the problems with focusing exclusively on guts. Alright. Return against Nuzleaf. And let's use Bubble Beam against Sableye. Same amount of damage, greater accuracy. Okay, and another solid return will take out Nuzleaf. Astonish. That one can cause flinching, but thankfully, Espeon already moved. And down goes Sableye. Alright. Return. Aurora Beam. Let's end this. Do you see the problem, Dan? You were in a perfect position to take out Espeon with all those dark moves, but you didn't. Your focus on guts has left you lacking when it comes to strategy. It also left you defeated. How about you? Unless you plan on doing aerobics during the battle, we're not going to be shedding that much sweat. Besides, the volcano's doing more than enough in the way of sweating. Well, in the way of making me sweat. Okay, so that's an interesting combination there. Mawile and Corsola. Octillery's water moves will be enough to deal with Mawile, but probably not on its own. Probably not on their own. Well, let's use Reflect, since we're probably going to be dealing with physical attacks here. Alright, Octazooka against Mawile. One thing to point out, Corsola is part water and part rock. So, while the water type makes it strong against water moves, the rock aspect will make it vulnerable to them. So basically, might as well... he'll not have either type. I think Spike Cannon's a water move, but I could be mistaken on that. Nice. Alright. Psybeam. Bubble Beam. That'll take out Mawile. Stockpile is typically used in conjunction with one of two other moves, either Spit Up or Swallow. You can stockpile up to 3 units, and Spit Up will do damage based on how much you've stockpiled, and Swallow will heal you based on how much you've stockpiled. So it's an interesting group of moves. It can make things a bit annoying. That was a convenient switch right there. Psybeam knocks out Mawile. Pokemon sent out in its stead gets taken out in one hit with Bubble Beam. Speaking of Bubble Beam... and you're actually smart enough to target the Pokemon that isn't strong against water moves. Nice to see you're not all about guts. Alright, so... let's use Octazooka. For some reason, I don't think Psybeam and Octazooka will be enough to take Corsola out, so the reduced accuracy will be a nice boost. Well, the possible reduced accuracy. Never mind. Excuse me. Yeah, battling over a massive pool of lava will do that. Okay. Who's next? A roller boy. You have no need to worry about me crying, but that gives me the impression that you will cry if you lose. Coughing and Grimer. Against a psychic Pokémon. With psychic moves, no less. A fast psychic Pokémon with psychic moves, for that matter. I think we all know how this battle is going to turn out. That said, I'm still going to show it to you. Down goes Coughing. How much you want to bet the other two are poison Pokémon as well? Well, we'll find out in a moment. Dustox. Yep. Bug and poison, admittedly, but still poison. And still vulnerable to psychic attacks. That's not going to help you against psychic attacks. Alright. So, I'm going to guess that your last Pokémon is also a poison type. Nice. One more level and Espeon will be at level 40. Gloom. Yep. Grass and poison. Brace yourself for crying, comrades. I suspect this trainer is going to cry when he loses. Let's see. Well. Yep. Do as he says, not as he does. It's not picking on you when it's Mount Battle. If you occupy one of these spaces, that means you are going to be faced, and someone will eventually defeat you. And, that's strange. The glow of the lava seems to be illuminating my path quite nicely. Okay, this could shape up to be an interesting battle. Psychic moves probably won't be a good choice here. However, we have Return. So, let's start with Kadabra. My memory is that ice moves qualify as physical, so let's use that. Then again, I could be mistaken. Kadabra just doesn't stand a chance against physical moves. Medicham, part fighting. So that'll make things easier. That'll make things easier for Espeon. Yeah, Aurora Beam didn't do much. Psybeam against Medicham. Aurora Beam against Natu. And there goes the wind blowing a door shut again. Almost enough. Okay. Doesn't tell me much about what type of move Hidden Power is. Let's see if my tea is cooled down enough. Yep. That's nice. Sorry, hit the mic there. And took Natu out in one blow. What a surprise. And another Psybeam. Another Aurora Beam. Not that Octillery's gonna have a chance to use it. And there we go. It's currently around 3:30, and this tea is the first caffeine I've had all day. Might want to have your eyes checked then, Ropel. Alright. Oh, aye. That speaks very poorly of your physical health. I mean, unless Pokeballs are extremely heavy, I lift things heavier than that whenever I pick up one of the cats. Alright. Lombre is part grass, so he would be vulnerable to Aurora Beam. But I'm going to focus on Love Disc first. Truth be told, I wouldn't be surprised if Espeon's Psybeam took care of her in one hit. Nope, of course not. As soon as I say it, I doomed that. And you use Water Gun. Not exactly a powerful move there. Alright, Octillery is level 35. That is just asking for a psychic attack. Tentacool is part poison, for those of you who didn't know. So Espeon will be able to take it out very quickly. Excuse me. Alright, Octillery, Aurora Beam. Excuse me. I would have never guessed that tea, of all things, would make me belchy. Soda would be rather predictable, but not tea. Apparently Lombre can withstand but quite a bit of damage from ice moves. Well, let's rectify that, shall we? Psybeam, Psybeam. That should be enough to take him out. Now that's what I'm talking about. Your Pokemon's almost level 40. It should be using more powerful moves, such as Water Pulse. Of course, it would have been wiser to target Espeon, since he's the one doing most of the damage here. And you used Absorb against a Water Pokemon! Thank you! Now see, this is what a trainer should be doing. Exploiting the opponent's weaknesses. Alright. Another Psybeam. We'll hit Seadra with the other one. Truth be told, I probably should have reversed them, but then again, considering that Octillery is confused, there's a possibility she won't attack. Okay, good. And you targeted Espeon this time. And confused him! Nicely done, nicely done. Alright, another pair of Psybeams, and that should do the trick. Well, unless they end up hurting themselves. Ooh, this could be close, at least for Espeon. Alright, well, another Psybeam from either of them, and Seadra's out of the fight. Let's see what will happen, shall we? Yes! Psybeam. You came very close to actually knocking one of my Pokémon out. Good job. You're a lot smarter than some of the trainers I've faced recently. I would argue that that's the case, but you might want to try lifting something that is heavier than a Pokeball anyway. Alright. If you have something to teach me, I am open to it. Alright. Looks like a nice, well-rounded team so far. Of course, I already see one weakness to take advantage of. Alright, we'll have Espeon use Psybeam on Celio. Octillery, hit Houndour with a Bubble Beam. That should be enough to take him out, but you never know. Excuse me? Why didn't you target Espeon with that? Alright, Octillery's that's catching up really quickly. Ooh, Body Slam. That one can be a bit of a pain to be on the receiving end of. Has a chance of paralysis. Let's use Octazooka on Spinda. Lower its accuracy with luck. Alright. Yes, lowered accuracy. I forget what Assist does exactly. I think it uses one of the partner's moves, but I'd have to check on that. Anyway, Psybeam, Bubble Beam, let's end this. Alright. What you have taught me, madam, is that you are not really that good of a planner. I'm here to train, not to be darling. Come to think of it, let's switch Octillery out with Swablu. Okay, whoops. While we're at it, let's put Misdreavus up front, too. Alright, let's see what you've got, Zenton. I get the impression you are a flying Pokémon specialist. Alright, Misdreavus' ghost moves won't be of any use against Swellow. So let's focus on Beautifly. Ooh, Aerial Ace. That's a very accurate move. The opponent has no chance of dodging it, so raising your evasion won't help against it. Nicely done. Wow! I'm thinking I will give Swablu some experience share. An experience share. Espeon's gotten plenty of training. Let's put Typhlosion out on the front lines. It's been a while since he's seen any combat. Alright, so... we'll use Shadow Ball and Beautifly. We'll use Sunny Day as well. That'll boost Typhlosion's fire moves. And just in case one of the opponents happens to know water moves, that'll mitigate the damage from them. Of course, on the downside, if one of them knows Solar Beam, that could end up working against me. Let's see what's next. Masquerain. Well, that's a bug type, so that's practically asking for a fire move to hit it. Alright. Let's use Confuse Ray on Swellow. And Flame Wheel on Masquerain. I wouldn't be surprised if that wouldn't be enough to knock Masquerain out, but it's worth a shot. Ooh. That Swellow is powerful. Okay. We'll switch to Furret then. And down goes Masquerain. Good. Of course, truth be told, I should probably be focusing on the Swellow. Alright, Strength, Flame Wheel. Let's see if we can take her out quickly. That Aerial Ace is going to be a pain to deal with. Nicely done, Typhlosion. Pelipper! I guess it's a good thing I decide to use Sunny Day. Something tells me Pelipper will use a water move. I love how Pelipper sort of covers its eyes after taking damage. Alright. We'll focus on Golbat for now. Missed again. Tough luck. Okay, and Strength should finish the job. Right? Yes. Alright, and that'll probably take out... No, it will not take out Typhlosion because it is not targeted at Typhlosion. Alright, Strength. Flame Wheel won't do much damage, but Dig won't do any damage. I stand corrected. That Sunny Day boost does quite a bit. Then again, Typhlosion has pretty good special attack anyway. Alright. So that didn't go quite the way I had hoped, but gotta play the cards you're dealt, as I say. And I will be holding off on any continued climbing of Mount Battle for some time. Wait until I've leveled up my Pokémon some more. Anyway, I will see you next time.